okay?
I know, but it doesn't mean you can look down on a guy. It doesn't matter.
No, it makes no difference. They're a public servant, okay, and I'm entitled to film.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. You've done your bit. You've come in for the information. Okay. You can request that online, as I've said. There's plenty of ways to go.
But as I said, all I wanted was that information, right? And that was it. Okay.
But because of the issues with staff today, I don't think they're willing to provide you with that information now. If you want to make a formal complaint against them, you know that you're well within your rights.
Well, then, if that's the case, if you can go and get that information for me on how I actually go about that,
I can find a website and bits and bobs.
If you can go and do that for me,
equally, I'm sure you can Google it because I'm only going to Google it on my phone.
No, but as I said, not everybody has that information. If you could get that information for me, that'd be most appreciated. And
right out the gate, you can feel the heat in this one. The auditor isn't here to argue for fun. He's laying out a serious claim. He came for basic public info, and instead he says security went hands-on. He describes his arm being forced straight multiple times, then immediately frames the entire incident around one explosive question. Was this self-defense or assault? And notice the tension in the officer's response, calm voice, but firm warning. The police are basically saying, careful. Self-defense has limits. That single line flips the mood. Because now this isn't just security being rude. This is edging into legal territory. And everyone knows it.
Also, if you can actually get me the daily manager's actual name.
Okay. I don't know if I have to provide that to you. I don't believe I will have to do that.
Well, I'm entitled to it.
Okay, well, you can request it then through them.
Okay, yeah.
Again, I know we're a third party here.
No, that's fine. If you can get that information for me, that'd be most appreciated. And I will appreciate that.
Okay.
No worries.
What's the plan going forward now then?
No, as I said, once I had that information, okay, I would have been on my way. I would have been on my way 25 minutes ago. So, and that's all what it was, because I wanted that information. And as I said, I'm not going to be pushed, okay? I'm entitled to defend myself, and all I done was I actually put my arm completely straight 3 times, okay? And as I told you, okay, then when she actually pushed and I actually done it, she actually tumbled over because she was standing on the edge of the steps, okay? And as I said, I'm not going to say that she didn't fall over, okay? I can tell you that she fell over.
You just have to be careful though, don't you? Because self-defense is to a limit and assault is intentional or reckless behaviour.
Well then here you go. Well then here you go. Okay, well then here you go, okay? They were pushing me and they knew none of that. Yeah? They knew none of that, okay? So when you actually then look at it, okay, what they actually did to me was by far worse.
I don't think so.
Now we get the origin story, and it's the classic audit spark. You can't film. The auditor explains he was simply trying to gather public information, filming as he normally does when a guard steps in and throws down that familiar claim. But here's where it turns. The auditor doesn't shout, doesn't run, he challenges it logically. Show me the law. And that's the moment the atmosphere changes. He claims the guard starts pushing, and he responds by creating space arm up, distance made, trying to control the physical boundary. From an outside view, this is the point where the whole thing either gets diffused or spirals. And according to him, it spirals fast.
Well, yes. Okay.
Fences now.
Yeah, I think it's all. Let me have a check the diary.
You travelled far today?
That's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. No, I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't mean that in a bad way.
That's fine. If you don't want to answer,
but I don't need to answer that. Okay. As I was telling your colleague, okay, I only came down to get some public information. That was it. Okay. And then I heard the guy that's in the middle that came out. Okay. When you can't film, I said, right, if you can tell me what the law says that I can't film, then I won't film.
Yeah.
Okay. Not a problem at all. Right. Then he started to push me. Okay, so all I done was I put my arm up, okay, exactly as you would, okay, just put an arm gap in between, okay, which I'm well within my rights to do so, yeah, okay, and then all of a sudden then she came out, same thing, then I had 2 of them pushing me and also grabbing my actual property as well, right, which you know yourself they shouldn't be doing, okay, and then she started pushing back, and then the same thing, she then started pushing and I sort of went like that as well, and she tumbled backwards, okay. Right.
Is this on the steps or?
Yeah, just at the steps, okay? And she tumbled back.
Just trying to get a sense of.
Yeah.
This segment is the chaos on the steps moment. The part where words stop being the main weapon and bodies start moving. The auditor describes security getting physical, and grabbing his equipment, 2 massive escalation triggers in any audit scenario. He says the situation multiplies. First one guard, then another, then suddenly a female guard is involved, and the shove and push turns into a stumble on the edge of the steps. The way he tells it, the fall wasn't a clean accident. He's implying it happened during the pressure and pushing. And here's the suspense. If CCTV exists, this is where the truth will show itself. Because this is the split-second zone where everyone's story can collapse depending on what the camera caught. Next part.
Okay, and then I hate to say it, but then you got this guy here, old Johnny Big Bollocks, so came flying in, okay, and then started really pushing and pushing and pushing. Okay? Now, if they're all security, okay, as you know they are, they should all have their SIA badge on.
I think they've just thrown their jackets on now, so.
Okay, yeah, but that information I am entitled to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like you asked me,
Yeah.
I gave you.
So if you can get that information for me, okay. I know your colleague's going to get some other information for me. If you can actually get their SIA numbers for me,
Yeah.
okay, and then I will then actually pass that on to SIA.
Okay.
Okay, and that will be most appreciated.
Yeah. Well, if you want that information, you can try.
Yeah, if you can get that for me,
Try to facilitate
okay,
that.
that'd be most appreciated.
This is where the auditor switches from defending himself to building a case. Notice the pivot. He's no longer just describing what happened. He's asking for CL badge numbers. That's not small talk. That's accountability language. As an observer, you can see the chess move here. If these are licensed security, their conduct matters. If they put hands on someone unlawfully or interfere with personal property, that can become a complaint with real consequences. And the officer's tone stays measured, almost procedural, because now it's not just emotion in the air. It's documentation, identifiers, reports. The auditor is basically saying, give me the details, and I'll take this further. Next part.
So, I mean, today we've turned up. Let's get an account from there, an account from here. Just see what's happening, and then hopefully they'll be on their way.
That's fine. And as I said to your colleague, okay, I came in to get some information. That was it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to come in, okay, to a place where I can actually come into a public reception, okay, and be pushed. Okay, I'm not going to do that. Okay, I will defend myself. Okay, and I will put that distance in between me and that said individual. And that is what I've done on 5 occasions.
Today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That is what I've done.
I'm just looking where we can get some shelter.
Okay. So as I said, I'm sorry that you guys got called out. Okay, and it was just a completely needless thing. Now I go around and I do lots of filming all over the place, and I've never, in all the time I've done it, ever had anything like that. Not once. And I've been doing this about 2.5 years.
What was it that was so bad? Was
Okay.
them in your face?
Yeah, nobody should physically be touching me.
Yeah.
Okay? Even you guys, even when there's a situation going on, you know yourself, it's about diffusing the situation.
Yeah.
Okay, not escalating the situation.
Oh yeah, we'll try and do that with words.
Okay? Yeah. Okay? And exactly as I'm talking to you now.
This part adds credibility and context. The auditor explains he's been filming for years and has never had a situation explode like this. That line is important. It frames this incident as an outlier, not another argument. He lays down a simple principle. Nobody should be touching him, especially not security, and even police should be focused on de-escalation, not escalation. You can hear the frustration, but it's controlled frustration. Like someone trying to explain a fire after it's already burned the room. Then the officer summarizes it in plain terms. Verbal disagreement. Pressure, shoving. Someone falling. That summary matters because it signals police are now treating this as an incident to verify, not just a complaint to dismiss. Next.
And that's how I first started talking to them.
Yeah.
Okay? Until they started pushing me. Once they push me, it becomes a different situation, all in total.
Yeah, like you say, you know. Sorry. Yeah, it's going to change the situation and dynamic, isn't it?
Yeah.
The hands on you. I tell you what, it looks a bit drier under here.
Yeah, that's no worry.
I know you got a cap on and stuff. I can't feel it like this.
No, but as I said, I am sorry that you guys got called out, but
That's fine. As long as you know, there's no injuries or no one's hurt. Yes.
no. Well, as I just showed you,
When we first arrived, we weren't sure.
yeah. Well, as I just told your colleague, okay, and no doubt that they're going, yeah, okay, I push them, blah blah blah. No, I push them in defence, okay, but that's something that they didn't know.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can see that clearly, and that's why I have to have that on. So this is situations in which they need to think about. They can't just randomly push
Doesn't
somebody.
sound great. I mean, by the sounds of it, you've had sort of verbal disagreement. It's been a bit of a push and shove between each other on the stairs. Someone's fallen over. So, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what it was. But
This is the resolution arc, and it's pure suspense because now the spotlight moves to the evidence. Police confirm the next step, CCTV review. And when they say that, the whole narrative shifts from he said, she said, to let's see what actually happened. The auditor doubles down, offering his own footage, and then drops a detail that makes the situation feel even more intense. He says it escalated from 1 guard to 2 to 4, then 5, with the female guard coming out second and going from polite to physical. The officer's closing posture is cautious but clear. They'll look at CCTV, they'll look at body cam, and they'll clear it out. And that's the cliffhanger feeling here, because if the footage supports the auditor, it exposes security. If it doesn't, his self-defense argument gets tested. Either way, the camera becomes the final judge.
then, as I said, even when the other guy came flying in, okay, the one that went off round there, right?
Grey coat,
yeah,
gentleman.
okay, he came flying in like Mr. Johnny Big Bollocks, okay, and I will defend myself against it.
Yeah.
Okay, and he came flying in literally like that, full into the chest, okay, and I pushed him back, and there was a couple of pushes for about 2 or 3 minutes.
Shouldn't have to get to that, should it?
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't. And as I said, I was never expecting it to get like that.
Alright.
So you know yourself, okay? Now you've seen people filming before, yeah? Have you ever actually engaged with anyone before?
Yeah.
Okay, and how did it go?
Like we are now.
Nice, straightforward
Trying to be
interaction.
civilised between each other.
That's exactly as it should be, okay? While there's a public reception, you should just be helping people, okay? Go boom, 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 and people then will see the good things in which that are happening.
Yeah.
Okay? How do you think that that's going to look? Okay, that doesn't look good.
No.
Okay, now for the way that you guys have so far dealt with it, okay, very professional, very straightforward. You got here, you introduce yourself, you done everything, okay, and we've had a straightforward conversation, completely on the level. That's how all interaction should be, whether or not it's an officer, it's security, whatever. This is how every interaction should be, and this is what people want to see.
Yeah.
And that's why I stated should be. Okay, it's not always that way.
Like I say, no one wants hands on, so
No, nobody does.
I think at this moment in time, I think the colleagues just having a look because, like I say, we've heard your account, heard their account. I think we're going to try and clear this up with a bit of CCTV. Hopefully, it can just give us a bit of enlightenment of if it is a case of just each other pushing and shoving, then we'll deal with that.
Yeah. Well, just remember the CCTV is on this side, okay, or wherever the cameras are. I can't even see where the cameras are.
I can't see.
Okay. Right. The CCTV. Okay.
Is it actually inside? This all sort of took place on the steps?
No, literally on the pavement, just the other side of those 2 cars there. Okay. And as I said, okay, when he actually comes out, okay, I'm more than happy, okay, depending on what he says, to show you the footage on this.
Was it just a guy? Was it one person when you first dealt with him?
It started with 1, and then it went to 2, and then it went to 4.
Right. Okay. When did the female?
And then it went to 5th. She came out 2nd. Okay, at first she came out, she was very polite when she first came out.
Yeah.
She was very polite when she first came out, right? And then the first guy that was there, the one that I showed you that was in the middle over here, okay, the taller one, okay, then he started pushing, so I pushed back. and then that's when she then started pushing, okay, and grabbing my actual equipment. So, and I repeatedly told her 3 times to let go of my equipment, and I repeatedly said, do not push me.
Yeah.
And I repeatedly said that I will defend myself and I will push back if you push me. And that is exactly all what I did.
I think, I mean, you've got more than enough CCTV, I think. Not only their CCTV, you've got your own body worn, so to speak.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they must have had theirs on the whole time. I'm not sure. I don't know if you could have.
Yeah, well, either way, I'll request that information from them, okay, and the same from the main CCTV as well.
Yeah. Alright.
You'd literally, as I said, I've never, ever, ever seen anything like it before.